You think you are free. You believe your decisions are your own. But what if I told you that in nearly every conversation you have, invisible strings are being pulled? Not through force, but through language, the most subtle, yet most potent weapon in dark psychology. In the shadows of polite dialogue, certain phrases aren't requests. They are anchors designed to tether you to someone else's will. They make you feel guilty, unstable, or simply obligated. Today, we are going to expose these 5 linguistic traps. We will deconstruct the psychological mechanism behind them, and most importantly, I will give you the exact instant counters needed to break the leash and reclaim your autonomy. Listen closely. The moment you recognize these phrases, the trap loses its power. This isn't about winning an argument. It's about defending the borders of your mind. The first phrase to watch for is simple, yet devastatingly effective at crippling your self-defense. If you really cared about me, you would. This is the manipulation tactic known as guilt stinging or boundary testing. It is a direct assault on your character disguised as an emotional plea. The speaker isn't asking you to perform an action. They are questioning your worth and your loyalty based on your compliance. They bypass logical negotiation entirely and jump straight to the emotional core. They create an immediate cognitive dissonance. I care about this person, therefore I must perform this task to prove it. Your refusal is interpreted by them and perhaps by yourself as a confirmation of your lack of care. The psychological pressure is immense because it forces you into a false dichotomy. Submit and prove your love, or resist and be labeled selfish. The instant counter must be a neutral redirect. You refuse the false premise. Do not defend your feelings. Defend your boundary. The counter is, my feelings for you are not determined by my actions right now. Let's talk about the request itself, not my commitment to you. You instantly force them to argue the merits of the request, which is often flimsy rather than the strength of your relationship, which is the emotional hostage. The next tactic is commonly used in professional environments, family dynamics, and even friendships. It sounds helpful, but it's pure control. I'm just trying to help you. Don't you want to succeed? This is the dark persuasion technique of obligation loading. The manipulator offers advice, a favor, or an unnecessary intervention, often unsolicited. When you resist, they deploy this phrase. By framing their intervention as benevolent assistance essential for your success, they are secretly positioning themselves as the necessary gatekeeper of your goals. They aren't helping. They are inserting themselves into your process so deeply that you feel obligated to adhere to their advice, simply because accepting their help creates a psychological debt. They want you to believe that their way is the only way, making future independent decisions difficult. The emotional hook here is the fear of incompetence. By questioning, don't you want to succeed? They imply that resistance equals a lack of ambition. The instant counter requires clear gratitude, followed by firm redirection. Acknowledge the gesture but refuse the implied control. The counter is, thank you for the thought, I understand your perspective, but I have already chosen my path forward on this. This separates the perceived good intention from the desired control, politely returning the focus to your own agency. You are saying, I see the offer, but I refuse the debt. This phrase is a weapon of emotional destabilization, designed to make you second-guess your own sensory experience and reality. You're overreacting. That never happened. I never said that. This is the chilling core of gaslighting. It is an attempt to erode your self-trust, making you psychologically dependent on the manipulator for your understanding of the world. By denying your emotional response or outright falsifying past events, the manipulator creates an environment of pervasive instability. Over time, you begin to question your memory, your judgment, and eventually, your sanity. This is a profound form of mental control, because a person who cannot trust their own mind is easily led. The psychological consequence is disorientation and self-doubt. The speaker is trying to enforce their narrative as the sole truth.